Ladies and gentlemen, this is huge. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. You'll hear from Lee Zeldon, the head of the EPA, in a second. EPA seeks review of $20 billion Biden-era grant program. Zeldon wants investigation of greenhouse gas reduction fund. Trump's EPA alleges self-dealing and conflicts of interest. So, ladies and gentlemen, here you have just maybe the tip of the iceberg, exactly what Elon Musk was talking about. And Democrats don't want this out there. Just like, for example, they didn't want anyone to find out about $20 million for a Sesame Street program in the Middle East. $20 million for Sesame Street. That's like pocket change compared to what's going on here. $20 billion. Hit subscribe. We'll have a live stream or maybe another video this evening. Let's get started. EPA formally refers financial mismanagement of $20 billion gold bars to Inspector General, and the FBI and DOJ are involved. So, and cooperating with the Department of Justice and Federal Bureau of Investigation down here. Okay, so this is huge, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lee Zeldon. Let's get started.
Hi, this is EPA Administrator Lee Zeldon. One of my very top priorities at EPA is to be an excellent steward of your hard-earned tax dollars. There will be zero tolerance of any waste and abuse. An extremely disturbing video circulated 2 months ago featuring a Biden EPA political appointee talking about how they were tossing gold bars off the Titanic, rushing to get billions of your tax dollars out the door before Inauguration Day. The gold bars were tax dollars, and tossing them off the Titanic meant the Biden administration knew they were wasting it. Following this revelation, during my meetings with members of Congress, I made a very important commitment to them and to the American people, which I reiterated at my confirmation hearing that if confirmed, I would immediately get a full accounting. Fortunately, my awesome team at EPA has found the gold bars. Shockingly, roughly $20 billion of your tax dollars were parked at an outside financial institution by the Biden EPA.
This is the potential fraud that NPR and all the other publications, CNN, MSNBC, are trying to downplay, okay? That's the word they used when people had questions about accusing President Trump of being a Kremlin operative. It was complete and utter nonsense. There was not a shred of evidence. It was right to downplay all of those absurd claims. That was a political stunt by Democrats to recreate a new Cold War, simply to frame and set up an incoming president. Okay, this is $20 billion, similar to a laptop that Hunter owned that 50 intelligence officials said didn't exist. And Hunter and everyone around Biden were preemptively pardoned. So you have $20 billion that in a video, one former official allegedly stated that they were just trying to find ways to spend the money. That is not lawful. That is illegal, almost certainly. Let's continue.
This scheme was the first of its kind in EPA history, and it was purposefully designed to obligate all of the money in a rush job with reduced oversight. Even further, this pot of $20 billion was awarded to just 8 entities that were then responsible for doling out your money to NGOs and others at their discretion with far less transparency. Just under $7 billion was sent to one entity called the Climate United Fund. I'm sure you and I now have some of the same questions. How do these organizations decide how to allocate funding? How much money have they given out so far and to whom? Are there any former Biden EPA staffers who are now working at these entities? Let me make one thing abundantly clear.
Are these entities donating to, Democratic candidates? Oh, I don't know, during the midterms or presidential contests, or donating to campaigns, donating to the Democratic National Committee. Who knows? That is a possibility, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue.
At this point, there is zero reason to suspect any wrongdoing by the bank. Here's my position as EPA administrator. The financial agent agreement with the bank needs to be instantly terminated, and the bank must immediately return all of the gold bars that the Biden administration tossed off the Titanic. EPA needs to reassume responsibility for all of these funds. We will review every penny that has gone out the door. I will be referring this matter to the Inspector General's office and will work with the Justice Department as well. The days of irresponsibly shoveling boatloads of cash to far-left activist groups in the name of environmental justice and climate equity are over. The American public deserves a more transparent and accountable government than what transpired these past 4 years. We take our obligations under the law as seriously as it gets. I've directed my team to find your gold bars, and they found them. Now we will get them back inside of control of government as we pursue next steps. As President Trump has vowed, we are going to usher in a new golden age of American success for the citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed.
So let's read here. To restore integrity and public trust, the Environmental Protection Agency has launched certain oversight and accountability measures that still exist despite the GGRF being designed to limit oversight. We have placed staff on administrative leave, begun a full assessment of internal controls, and are cooperating with the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation in their ongoing investigation. And so here you have one of the most disturbing initial indicators of financial misconduct is a publicly circulated video of a former Biden administration EPA political appointee boasting that officials were, quote, tossing gold bars off the Titanic. That is potential fraud. At best, it's unethical to just simply find some left-leaning cause because you think it's morally superior to park the money, knowing that the President Trump won 2024 and that essentially a new EPA, new government will be there, and you want to find a quick way, or allegedly want to find a quick way to spend the $20 billion. And so this is a haphazard attempt at ensuring that $20 billion doesn't get into the hands of President Trump's administration, which really is your tax dollars. So there's a political angle, obviously motive here, if this took place. Rushing to distribute billions in taxpayer dollars before the incoming administration could review or halt improper disbursements. That's why they didn't want Trump to find out, potentially, that's why they didn't want Trump to find out that they were possibly simply allocating $20 billion just for what it says here, political favoritism. Even more troubling, the official implied that political favoritism influenced funding decisions with expectations of securing employment at grant recipient organizations. And so this is a endless labyrinth, Byzantine labyrinth of non-governmental organizations receiving taxpayer dollars. And until Trump's administration, until Elon Musk, Lee Zeldon, Doge, and everyone in Trump's administration, we didn't know any of this. I still haven't heard a rebuttal from morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats on the $20 million for Sesame Street in Iraq, or the $20 billion that was rushed, that was supposed to be rushed, or that potentially was given in a haphazard manner to non-governmental organizations that potentially, possibly, could donate in upcoming elections. Anyway, hit subscribe to this channel. We'll have a follow-up on this in a couple of hours. Thanks, everybody. This is huge.